How's it going, everybody? Hopefully the wind's not too bad as I am outside. Today we're going to be continuing on the old three-wheeler project. So last time you seen this, it was getting loaded into the station wagon, but it is now here at its new forever home. So we didn't really get a good walk through it last time. So right now we're just going to walk through it, see if we can diagnose what the original issue was. See if we can maybe get it running. I have a feeling that there's something wrong with the engine because when you go to pull the recoil, it's seized, stuck. So we'll just take a look at it, take the plug out, check the gas, filter, carb. Overall, just look at it. Right off the bat, when I was loading it up on here, I don't know if you can see because of the sun there, but it's got some good shaft play. So we'll go ahead and we'll look underneath the seat. Battery is obviously dead. Ooh, it's a spicy meatball. Definitely an OG air filter. And these looks like it's, oh yeah, just crumbling apart. Ugh. Ugh, gross. So we'll be needing a new air filter. Other than that, it's not bad. We'll check the tank here. See if we can get you guys a good view. Pretty clean. There's no gas in it. I already drained it out earlier when I was gonna put it in my car. Took the old thing there. The ignition, it's all complete. Missing a lever. This choke mechanism is supposed to be on this little tab here, but they got it just tied up there and it's seized, so the choke won't be working. You'll just have to manually flick it with your finger. Alrighty, so we're just gonna try the battery here, see if the electric start will work. Turn this over. Maybe the recoil is just bad and stiff, so we're just gonna go ahead and hook this up. Alrighty, key on, neutral lights on, headlights working, just a click. So I'm going to try to just manually connect it down to the starter down there, ground it out off the chassis and put the positive on the little terminal there and see if that works. We're just going to try, I got it mounted to the shifter there. Should be able to just tap that little terminal, and if the starter's good, it'll start to turn over, and if nothing happens, then it's no good. So, starter's no good. See if I can take the recoil off, see if the recoil is itself messed up, or if there is something in the bottom end. Maybe the bottom end might be bad, that's seizing it up, or a top end, but I'll go ahead and I'll get that ready to look at, check back in. So we're gonna go and take the plug out. And before I went to go grab a socket, I thought, hey, I'm just gonna check. Underneath the seat is where they kept the original toolkits that came with it. And lo and behold, it's got a complete toolkit in it. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the old factory toolkit to actually take this bad boy out. Crack it loose. So that's the plug there. Pretty wet, pretty juicy. So let's just go ahead. I'll put this back in the cap, one-handed. That, and then now let's see if we can get that recoil to work. And if we can, then we can pull it over and test for spark just by put it against the fins here on the engine. You'll be able to see if a spark comes out. So let's go ahead and see if we can get that bad boy fixed. Alright, so all four 10mm bolts are out. You did miss it when I pulled that off. was a bunch of water that just dumped everywhere. Test the recoil out here. So this appears to be fine. You can see right there's a tooth where it grabs. So it's definitely not a bad recoil. The plug is out and bike is in neutral, which doesn't really mean anything, but so you should theoretically just be able to turn this by hand, but I have a feeling the bottom end is probably junk or top end, either or. Just gonna go ahead and check the oil. Maybe they ran out of oil and caused some damage that way. Definitely looks kind of low. So the story was farm bike, grandkids used to come over and ride it. One day just stopped working. Yeah, you can just see it's just barely on that last tick there. So if they got this thing too hot, then they probably locked her up. So sadly, I think this engine's garbage, now parts engine. So yeah guys, sadly I was gonna attempt to get this running and then maybe keep it as is, but the original plan is back in action to use it for parts. So the seat is amazing, same with the rear plastics. And then this ignition setup, this bar here, these lights here are broken on the other one. So if there's wind, and then this whole rear end assembly. So we just gotta undo the brake cables, take these bolts out, undo the shaft, and it should just be a simple swap. No adjusting of a silly chain or nothing. And yeah, I think those are the parts that'll come off this. I do have like another seat. So the seat that's off the other bike that we'll go show, then the fender's off it, so we might just put that on this one. And then I do have another spare rear end, but it's like completely torn apart. So maybe one of these days, if I get motivated, put it all back together and put a rear end in this and find another motor off Kijiji or something. So that's where this bike sits. Alrighty, here in the back 60. This is the bike that I'm trying to restore. So right now it looks pretty bare condition, but that's just because everything's just kind of taken off. So the plastic seats, tanks, tires. So it looks really bad, but if I actually have a picture of how it sat, it really sat outside for like 8 years. And then just, you know, like anything would be, it just went to crap. But bringing it back, like I said, this is a rear end that I was going to put in it, but sadly someone decided to get it on me, so there's really parts all over, and to find all the clips and whatnot. There's another one ahead. Be too much work, so I'm just gonna simply take this all out, slap in the other one. This one actually has a good muffler on it too, so that's pretty dope. Original muffler. Get a battery. The engine is running fine, or it was running fine. It's just that the rear end went out in it, and then after it's sitting, then of course stopped running. So it probably just needs carb cleaned and just minor maintenance to get that back up. I mean, it's a Honda after all. These little tanks, it'll last forever. So this is a different front end that I put on. It looks kind of dusty and dirty right now, but it's actually a really good one. Front shocks are awesome. Boots aren't rusted out once it's washed. It's nice bright red. And then like I was saying with the ignition on the other one, it's got a missing light here, and it's a little more beat up and worn out, but the choke is in the, just needs a little bolt at the bottom, but located in the right spot. But yeah, this is the Love Project. Bought brand new in '84. My grandfather actually bought two. The other one's still going strong out of different family members, but this one was more or less the one that was devoted to the family cottage. So it'd be nice to bring this back and keep it going for another 25 plus years. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. You just see kind of plastics just completely missing a chunk there and cracked up there. This is the seat. Doesn't have the toolbox, and she's all dried out, but other seat's good. The plastics are good. The original plate. This tank is dent free, but as you can see, it's a little faded. The inside is, can we get a good view there? It's clean still. So this one, I think I might actually, as you can see, my grandfather actually scratched his name into the tank, so I definitely want to keep this tank just, you know, dent free. Inside's cool. Should just maybe use a fresh paint and some decals put back on. And then get this up and running and use it maybe for a year or two. And then if you get really motivated, maybe strip it back down once we know everything's solid and good to go. Maybe like power coat the frame and freshen everything up. So that's it for this week, guys. Keep you updated next weekend. Peace out. Enjoy.